Hey guys, you are listening to Insights with Cathleen,
Please join us while we share our insights and experiences
with the hope to inspire you to look inside of yourself.
for the answers you already have.
As with all information we receive,
Take what speaks to you
and leave the rest. Hello everyone.
You gotta wait until your butt actually hits the couch before you start saying hello to everyone.
I'm like, where's the beat?
She throws me off here. Like at least just sit, breathe, and then say, hey! Welcome back, everyone.
Hi guys. How are you doing?
What's the matter, Cher? You trying to mix this all up or what?
I don't know. This is so funny.
Oh, the doggies say hello, by the
Yes,
way.
all two of them.
And thank goodness they have departed.
Oh, we love that. We had like a little
But
promo
they'll be
video
back.
one.
But they'll be back.
They love her, so they'll definitely be back.
I think they love Sherry more.
That's absolutely not true. They follow her around everywhere. So that's not true.
Well, you know what, Sherry? Sometimes I have a hard time separating me and the dogs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Sometimes I think that I am part of their pack. Wait a minute. I am part of their pack.
I mean, you kind of are.
I
You're
am.
like the alpha
I
dog
am.
over there.
Yes. But sometimes they forget.
Sometimes you forget about that.
Yeah. And sometimes I think they forget that I'm a person.
Yeah.
Did you ever experience something like that?
Yes. Yes, I don't have any dogs and I don't have any pets. I really wish I did. But I know for me, I don't know if you guys have like hung out with someone, maybe a family member, friend, acquaintance, spouse, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, you know, either they're talking about something or whatever, and you get caught in their swirl of either what they're feeling or experiencing.
Yes.
And I know for me, sometimes I'm like, well, if you just did it this way or if you just did it that way. And then I get caught in their swirl. And then I either get upset or mad or all of the above. And I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't even my stuff to be dealing with. Why am I feeling this way?
And why do I feel the need to fix it?
Right.
Right?
That's like the big thing.
It is. And that is a hard thing to navigate,
Right.
let alone separate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I struggle with that on many occasions. And
Right.
what I do is I remind myself I need to take a step back. And to do that, I need to take a breath. Okay. Just, you know, and sometimes it's 10 breaths, you know.
Yes, I've definitely done more than 10 breaths. So I get that.
I think what helps me is for me to remind myself, you know what, this is their experiment. This is not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing harmony. I'm choosing flow. And I can observe. I can certainly observe what they're going through. Can I support? Absolutely. You know, and that's part of where we listen. We give them room
Right.
to be, right? We give them an opportunity to kind of just voice if that's something they need to do. Right? So sometimes when people come to us and this is how we get caught up in their swirl.
Right.
Is that they may come to us and say, hey, I got this thing going on and this is happening and oh my goodness, I just don't know what to do. And however it is that they're presenting it. And right away, I don't know about you, but right away I'm like, hey, you know, there's a solution for everything.
Right.
We all have choices.
Yes.
We're not stuck. We're never stuck. Unless we choose to believe that we're stuck. And that's a whole different experiment.
Right.
But the thing is when people come to us and they're sharing something that's going on, excuse me, something that they're experiencing, a struggle that they have,
Right.
that's where the breath comes in handy. Take a breath before you respond, because that breath is your reminder that this isn't yours to fix.
Right.
I had this this people manager way back in the day, and I loved it. He learned early on that when someone would come to him and say, I have blah, 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 blah. All this is blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And he'll look at him very calmly. He goes, okay, what is it that you want me to do? Do you want me to fix it? Do you want me to listen? Do you want me to validate? What is it that you want from me? You know, so sometimes in some situations that's a good way to go.
Right.
It's just to ask for that clarity. What role am I playing in this? Is it just that you need a platform to, you know, to spout off? Do you just need someone to listen so you can feel heard?
Right.
You know, what is it that you really need? Do you need a hug?
You need a hug. You're right.
And you know, and then sometimes people want you to fix it. Right?
Right.
And then it's about you taking a bigger step back and looking at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And looking at all sides and being able to have and call upon wisdom, right? Wisdom's there for any of us. We just have to call upon it.
Oh, okay.
What?
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and part of that is just, you know, what does that look like, Kathleen? Right?
Yeah.
And you already know what that looks like. That's why she's not asking, so I'm asking for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What that looks like, it's kind of like a prayer. It's talking to your spirit team and just requesting that wisdom come in. Give me clear sight here. Give me a clear perspective. You know, stating what it is that you need and asking for it. And that's, you know, our angels and our team, they're not going to come in and just give it to us. We need to ask for it.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
angel, hey, spirit team, please be here. Help me with this. Give me the wisdom. Give me the confidence and my clear knowing of the information that needs to come through me for this individual. And grace and love.
That's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that just like rolled off my tongue.
That really did roll off the tongue.
So you take that step back inside of you and in your heart.
Right.
You ask for that and you invite that in. And then you decide how much of you and your energy, and energy is a lot of things. Energy is your resources. Energy is just your personal energy.
Right.
It's all of these things. So then you have to decide, you know, how much are you willing to put forward?
Right.
You know, and what's right or wrong for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that helps you to decide the next step.
Oh, okay.
Right. So now, so that's just one piece. I'm like, there is no one fix all. All right. So we're just going to hit a couple of things here.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like that.
Yeah. So there might be like family members are the hardest.
They are.
Right. Because acquaintances or friends, you can kind of dismiss them a little bit easier.
Right.
But people you live with.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, they're not really going away as easily like as a friend or something.
Right. And you want to maintain a good, healthy relationship. And you want to kind of, you know, some of us feel like we want to keep the status quo.
Yeah. And they're just like, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to like do any family drama or something.
Well, guess what?
What?
When you don't rock the boat or make any waves, you're the one who sinks.
Oh.
Sorry to say it. There you have it.
Dang, I never thought of it that way.
Right? Because you're the one who's constantly pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing it all down instead of just releasing and speaking your own truth.
Right.
Now, mind you, when you speak your truth, there's many ways to do it.
Uh-huh.
I do recommend asking yourself, okay, with the way I'm about to state this, is this loving of me and loving of them? So
Right. That's a big one.
So I tell my young adult children that, you know, you're entitled to speak your truth. That's an entitlement we all have.
Right.
But it's in how we speak it. We can still be respectful of others.
Oh, yeah.
Like, mother effer. No, we don't need to do that.
No.
Right? That's not respectful.
No.
That's ugly. I'm judging it.
Right.
It's ugly.
Right. Yeah.
But we can respectfully. And we can sometimes respectfully decline.
I do like that. Tell me a little more about that.
About the declining part?
Yeah, the respect. Because I guess for me, just growing up in my household, it's always, whenever someone asks you something, you always just say yes, and no is just rudeness or ignorance or something of that nature. So I never, you know, knew how to say no, or I was so uncomfortable saying no. Or, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I would say no, but with so many different qualifiers that it almost seems like a yes. Well, I can't do it now, but maybe in like 20 minutes, maybe, possibly, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's not a very assertive
no,
right? and sometimes it is an art. It is knowing your audience.
Right.
It is knowing, okay, I know that if I give a flat out no here, life's going to be hell for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how can I say no without actually using the word no?
Huh.
Do you know it can be done?
No.
Hey, I spent a lifetime career on telling people no, and they didn't even know it.
What? Wait, now you got to tell me some of these. I didn't even know
All right.
that was. I mean, I knew, but not to the extent that you're saying.
Well, again, it's all situational.
Right.
So let's say somebody comes to you and they want you to do something.
Right.
Oh man, I'd love to help you out with that, but the soonest I can get to that is this date. And it's like way off in the future.
Okay.
You know, but honestly, you want to be honest about it.
Right,
Right.
right.
You don't want to just be lying to them because they might be able to wait that long.
Yeah, they might.
And
And
then you say, okay. But it's a date that works for you.
Right.
Because that's loving of me.
Yes.
Right. So if you're going to put demands on me,
Right.
I'm not always going to be able to do it like right now. It's kind of like little kids when they're like, Mommy, I want to eat. Sure, honey, 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, they give the time. They don't flat out say no.
Right. Another thing could be as well, you know, I really would like to do that for you, but I don't know how I'm going to fit that into my schedule. Or another thing would be like, oh, you want to borrow money? You know, I really wish I could help you out, but I have just enough to cover this.
Right.
And you know how important that is to me.
Right.
Right. And again, it's always being honest about it.
Right.
But you don't owe anyone anything.
That's also very true.
Yeah. And parents, they're hard. Right? Because as a child, and you're looking at that parental figures like, well, they are my parents.
Right.
I always have to say yes to them.
Right.
Because I'll be stood in the corner if I don't.
Yeah.
They're going to put me in a corner. They're going to take away my phone.
Right.
You're a stinking adult by now, man.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to them?
I'm talking to whoever's listening because this is not for kids, right?
You guys are all adults
I'm
and
just
so
looking at
am
her
I.
and saying it, but
She's like in my face. I'm like, what are you trying to say? But that's very true.
right. So as young adults and young people, right? You guys are guys and girls, thems and he's and she's, and
Yeah.
whoever's. You know, I want to make sure I'm using all the right pronouns because I'm terrible.
Non-binary,
with the
all
pronouns
the groups.
Sorry.
Everyone watching?
All of you.
Yes. Yes.
You know, as a young adult, sometimes taking that first step out there to be the adult you can be.
Right.
And saying no to your parents. Sometimes it's about taking that responsibility. Now, of course, if your parents are paying for your phone,
Right.
you're going to want to get your own plan before, you
Right.
kind of like throw that at them. Like,
Right.
what are they going to do? Take
Right.
your phone away?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom, well, here's my phone because I know you're going to take it away. But just know
I got my
I'm
own
not
plan.
going to be able to get in touch with you when I'm out.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
You know, my car might break down and
You know?
I don't think there's any more payphones. But that's okay. I'll stop a stranger on the street.
Just so you know.
All right, now we're just manipulating. But no, as young adults, you do have choices, and
Right.
if your situation at home is antagonistic
Yeah.
or just this level of big resistance, then start taking steps to being more independent. If your parents are covering you on their cell phone, excuse me, let me say this again so that I actually make sense. If your parents are paying for your phone,
Yeah.
one of two things: get your own plan, or pay your parents for your portion of the phone.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right? And
Yeah.
then you do two things with that.
Mm-hmm.
You're showing them, yeah, I'm an adult. I'm taking responsibility for me.
Right. Right.
Right? So then when you're coming back around to say those no's, to put those boundaries up,
Right.
it's easier because now you know, hey, I'm taking care of me.
Right.
I am an adult.
Yes.
I am responsible for me.
Yeah.
And then because I'm responsible for me, I can really speak my truth.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, respectfully.
Right.
And I want to
No mother effers?
No.
No, not any of those? No.
No,
Oh, yeah.
No, nicely, right? Because especially if it's to your parents, right? Because your
Right.
parents, they deserve that respect. Whether they're good parents or bad parents, they still deserve the respect.
Yeah.
I know for me with my dad, it has always been this. My dad was very authoritarian. I think
okay.
we've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
And my mom passed away, and I actually had to say to him, like, I wanted to get in front of it because he had already started toting, and I think it was just only a few months away. Like after my mom had passed away, he starts toting. He has a girlfriend.
Oh.
and I was hosting the holidays, the Christmas holiday here at my house for our family. And I just said to him, Dad, listen, please, I don't have anything against whoever it is that you're seeing. They're just not invited.
Right.
And I was really careful to choose my words. I didn't say they weren't welcome.
Right.
They're just not invited because I'm not ready to introduce someone else into the family unit.
Right.
And it's been only a year since my mom passed away.
Right.
And Christmas was definitely her thing.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
So this whole big argument ensued.
Uh-huh.
But this is the first time I actually stood up to my dad and I was telling him no, and I wasn't budging.
Good for you.
Now, mind you, I did lose my temper. I did curse at him. But he really did push me.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I knew even before this conversation had happened that this conversation in some way, shape, or form would happen.
Right.
I just didn't know how that was going to look.
Mm.
So before my mom passed away, she was worried that, he'd be moving in with me or making my life crazy. And I just looked at her and said, you know what, Mom, he's mad at you now, right? And he's probably still going to be mad at you when you die.
Right.
He's going to need to transfer that to somebody. Who do you think that's going to be?
Oh.
So it just took a little life event, right, to just trigger that for him. And I allowed it. I allowed it to happen with no resistance.
Oh.
What I did is I stood up for myself. I respected me.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be loving of both of us by setting a really strong boundary that, hey, I'm inviting you to show up for me.
Right.
And I spelled it out. Why? Exactly why. And what I needed.
Right.
And because he had displayed selfish behaviors, now mind you, I wasn't like the little golden child, this whole little interaction.
Wait, no.
No. I was human little girl whose daddy wasn't going to show up for her.
Right.
And that little girl was mad, and that little girl had loads and loads of years of being mad.
Right.
Of suppressed anger, suppressed needs.
Right.
See how we brought this all back around with this story?
Yeah, you did
wonderful?
with the sink. Ooh.
So, and then here she's just exploding out.
Right.
So she started out trying to have a very nice, calm conversation, but because the level of resistance on his side, and it wasn't even necessary, because you find out later through other sources, he wasn't really even planning on bringing that person.
Oh, then.
But yet he wanted to have this fight and argument with me.
Oh. Huh.
But you see, I share this with you and you is so to hopefully encourage you and let you know, don't be afraid of the argument. Don't be afraid of disappointing them. Don't be afraid of them not talking to you. Just continue to keep your heart open and allow them that space to let them figure out whatever their junk is. It doesn't have to be your junk. Now, even though he made me mad at that instance,
right,
and I knew that he wasn't going to talk to me for a really long time, I didn't stop talking to him.
Oh, you reached out.
Oh, no. This is how it went. You ready?
Let me tell you how this went.
I am so bad. So I didn't reach out and call him because he would see it was me coming through and he would just never answer the phone. So why would I waste that energy?
Right.
But we're still part of a family and there's still family functions.
Right.
So he'd go to a family function and it always worked out really nice because it would be at my older brother's house. And,
oh, nice.
And it would be his wife's family would be part of those gatherings too.
Okay.
So when there's other people around, I knew my dad. I knew him well enough to know that he would never, ever dismiss me in public. Because how would that make him look?
Right? Okay. That was his thing.
Yeah. So we all have buttons placed in us.
Right.
And we place buttons into others. So I knew my dad's buttons. And hello, Bubby. Do you got something to say? But understanding him too, but keeping my heart open. When we go to that family gathering, I'd see him sit, on the other side of the pool because my brother had an in-ground pool.
Okay.
And I'd yell, "Hi, Dad!" Big arms, hi. I don't care what he's telling people about us. I don't care.
Right.
But you know what? Hey, my behavior is showing something different.
Right.
I am open. I am loving. I am saying hi.
Yeah.
And then of course he's looking around, and then his hand goes up.
It's like awkwardly like,
Hi.
hi. One wave. Hey.
And I just giggle because, yeah, is that mean of me? Probably a little bit. It's me being bad, but it's also showing him I'm really not mad at you.
Right.
That's your problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not my problem.
Exactly. You're not like
I already
that.
spoke my truth to you, and
Right.
what you do with my truth is on you. And if he's choosing not to talk to me, that's still on him.
Yeah.
I'm still talking to him.
Yeah, you're still doing
He had
your
a
thing.
different girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And at the same party, and he's having pizza, and I'm pulling out all the stuff he likes to sprinkle on top of his pizza. And it's the first time she's meeting me. She just thinks I'm the bad, black sheep of the family girl
Right.
because, I yelled at my dad for standing up for myself. This is,
Right.
I'm in
which
trouble
is-
for standing up for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, oh, he likes this and he likes this. And she's looking at me funny. And he comes in and he goes, yeah, so, put that on and put that on and put that on. And I winked at her and I went,
She's like, who is
I know my dad. And I
Like,
walked
I
away. But the reason I share this story with you all is so that hey, I'm not broke.
Right.
I didn't die.
No, you did not.
No. And we have this fabulous relationship now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it took a couple of years because he's stubborn that way, and I knew it would take a while.
Right.
But it was just a matter of me giving him the space to be him.
Right.
And then in time, it just comes back around.
Ah.
But I continue to respect me. Now, granted, I'm not gonna sit here and, pull any wool over anyone's eyes. It's not the relationship that I've always dreamed of as a little kid. He will
Right.
never be the dad that I feel I need him to be.
Right.
He'll never be that. But that's part of loving him is accepting that.
Right. Right.
So when we're faced with others who do these things to us, or we feel that they're doing to us, or this level of resistance, or these behaviors that come our way, we have to be loving to ourselves first, and it's setting that clear boundary. This behavior is not acceptable.
Right. Right. Signifying that.
Yeah. And whether it be our words, our actions, or just even our, our redirection.
Right.
Right. So we can even use redirection.
Oh, okay. Yes, I actually have done that once before because, I was talking with my mom on the phone and, I don't know if you've had those conversations where you just know it's going to keep going down a rabbit hole of like, this particular thing is bothering me, but it always bothers me and I'm going to keep talking about it for like 40 minutes. So instead I was like, hey mom, there's this like awesome show I would love for us to watch. And like, there's this other thing. And it kind of just redirected that energy into, oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds like something I would watch. And I just felt the energy shift. And I was like, wow, this feels lighter. And it was nice because I didn't have to be in this dense space for that long.
Yeah. And that's the power that each and every one of us have.
Right.
We could choose to be in the density of somebody else. What's that mean? The density? It means that heaviness, that heaviness you feel when you're around them, like how you can just feel how sad they are or how mad they are.
Right.
Like we're feeling beings. We're going to feel that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we can choose.
Mm-hmm.
We can choose, you know what? I'm going to hurry up and do a Yui and walk out of this room.
Now I feel the same way.
Or we can just, lift and push like our energy out more, our happiness out more, our light out more. And when we're faced with theirs, we're just allowing it to keep on going. Yeah, we can welcome that energy in and watch it leave.
Right. Just like let it flow through and just watch it leave. Okay.
Yeah. And, always remember there are choices. And we've said this before. There are always choices about how we engage with people. There's always choices about what it is we're going to allow in.
Right. Right.
And sometimes, hey, we need to give that shoulder for somebody to cry and to complain and to do whatever, but it's not really ours to take on.
Right. That's
right.
I feel like that's the difference.
Yeah. And when the person is coming to you, it could just be because they're feeling ungrounded. They can't find their footing, and they're kind of looking for answers, right?
Right.
But it really is up to them to find their answers. We might be able to guide them in a direction,
right?
But we should not try to fix it for them.
Yeah, it's robbing them of their experience and their journey.
Well, look at you. You're such a wise sage.
I learned from the best.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. We hope you join us next week. Remember, you are bigger than anything that you are going through or anything that is happening around you.